Hello there, and welcome to The First Page, hosted by T.S. Russell and Bartholomew Bear. Today, on The First Page, we'll be reading the first page of St. Francis of Assisi by G.K. Chesterton. St. Francis of Assisi, Chapter 1, The Problem of St. Francis. A sketch of St. Francis of Assisi in modern English may be written in one of three ways. Between these, the writer must make his selection, and the third way, which is adopted here, is in some respects the most difficult of all. At least, it would be the most difficult, if the other two were not impossible. First, he may deal with this great and most amazing man as a figure in secular history and a model of social virtues. He may describe this divine demagogue as being, as he probably was, the world's one quite sincere democrat. He may say, what means very little, that St. Francis was in advance of his age. He may say, what is quite true, that St. Francis anticipated all that is most liberal and sympathetic in the modern mood: the love of nature, the love of animals, the sense of social compassion, the sense of the spiritual dangers of prosperity and even of property. All those things that nobody understood before Wordsworth were familiar to St. Francis. All those things that were first discovered by Tolstoy could have been taken for granted by St. Francis. He could be presented not only as a human, but a humanitarian hero. Indeed, as the first hero of humanism. He has been described as a sort of morning star of the Renaissance. And in comparison with all these things, his ascetical theology can be ignored or dismissed as a contemporary accident, which was fortunately not a fatal accident. His religion can be regarded as a superstition, but an inevitable superstition, from which not even genius could wholly free itself, in the consideration of which it would be unjust to condemn St. Francis for his self-denial, or unduly chide him for his chastity. It is quite true that even from so detached a standpoint, his stature would still appear heroic. There would still be a great deal to be said about the man who tried to end the Crusades by talking to the Saracens, or who interceded with the emperor for the birds. The writer might describe in a purely historical spirit the whole of the Franciscan inspiration that was felt in the painting of Giotto, in the poetry of Dante, in the miracle plays that made possible the modern drama, and in so many things that are already appreciated by the modern culture. He may try to do it, as others have done, almost without raising any religious question at all. In short, he may try to tell the story of a saint without God, which is like being told to write the life of Nansen, and forbidden to mention the North Pole.